How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? It's just me. Right now, I think Varian is off recording something else, or hopefully he's not passed out somewhere. We just had a great first part. We hope you go over there and take a look at it at your convenience. The chat is open. This is the second part for our closing out party. We just want to make sure everybody knows that the Indiegogo campaign is still active just for a few more hours. There's not much left to go. We are at 6 hours left, 61 backers strong. 5 hours left, 61 backers strong. And this probably won't be a long stream, especially considering the fact that Varian had a lot of fun on the first part. And I don't think a lot of folks just want to hear me talking. So I see Joe is out there ready to get put in. If you want a link out there, PM me on Facebook. I will send you a link. And we'll talk for a little bit longer, at least, just so we have some video to show you. And to point out the campaign. I want to thank everybody that was a part of this. We went, I have to say, when we started Indie Volt 2 years ago, we had no idea that this was going to happen, that there were no plans for a book like this. It's just that we, especially with the bug, we've gone around and met so many great people from all over the world, so many great contributors that a lot of the worldwide audience would just hear but never see, or a lot of the YouTube people would see their faces and not be familiar with their work. And I thought it was important at that point to go in. Indie Princess is joining us. Hello, Indie Princess. Is Varian awake? He's probably passed.
He's awake. We're handling something right now. We'll be there in a minute.
All right. No problem. When we started Indie Volt 2 years ago, we had no idea that it would grow the way that it has, that we'd get the audience that we do, especially the worldwide audience out there where we're getting 80,000. There are a couple of times that we've almost breached 100,000 listeners out there worldwide, and we deeply appreciate everybody out there. We didn't think like we keep saying, I didn't think the numbers were real until I started getting friends on Facebook from all over the place, and it was just crazy. So once we realized the audience was real and that we met so many great folks like Russ, and that we decided to do the book. I thought doing an anthology book would be fun. I didn't start out with it being a flip book. We got so many great covers in, it became a flip book because I didn't want to offer so many variant covers out there. And a lot of the artwork is just amazing. This is probably the best. Thanks, Pops, very much. This is probably one of the best products I've ever been associated with, and I've been in this business, afraid to say, for like 35 years. So it started with Arrow Comics back in 85. I actually started with Just Imagine Comics and Stories back in 84 that started the careers of people like Mike Vosberg and Doug Rice, and worked my way up from that. Got printed a couple of short stories in the back of Journey with Bill Mesner-Loebs from Aardvark Vanaheim. Got involved with Arrow Comics, worked Tales from the Aniverse on there and became their art director. Learned a lot about self-publishing. Knew at that point when Tales from the Aniverse 1 come out that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Always wanted to be in comics. I went and started my own self-publishing ventures a couple of times and kept butting my head against the wall with Diamond. Very frustrating times during that period. Went through the black and white boom and bust. At that time, met a lot of nice, good people, some friendships that are still lasting to this day, especially with the Arrow Comics people, and that kept freelancing with anybody that would let me do anything. Did lettering, did inking, did writing, anything that I could get my hands on, I could do. Did a 5-issue series with Caliber that was updating the War of the Worlds, the classic novel that Caliber still offers to this day, and I still get a Thank you, Ryan, very much. I still get residual checks from that, and you might actually see more War of the Worlds coming out from Arrow. When Arrow was out before, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, I tried I have another 5-issue arc called The Memphis Front that we did 2 issues on and didn't continue because of the way the market had been going. I got very upset at the market about 2003, got out, actually didn't get completely out, tried a few things, tried some online stuff. Did a lot of pitches to Marvel and DC, got very frustrated there dealing with their editors. And I decided I was going to stop doing comics because, with Diamond and with the frustrations with the market and all that, it just, I decided to try to do as they put in air quotes, a regular job. So I was in the apparel business for a little while with a couple of partners. We had a business that was very successful for a few years. And the partners actually decided to break it up when 2 of them decided to move to Florida, one of which didn't stay in Florida for very long. But when that broke up, I kept the clients from the apparel business and started my own commercial work, started doing signs and T-shirt work and a little bit of contract outside print work, a lot of design work. But comics have always been the first love. I kept getting comic assignments, though, from areas outside of the direct market. And I got to do a lot of advertising work, got involved with a local political paper here in Flint. This was in probably the mid-2000s. And had a good time with that. It got to do a lot of things with them, and it got me thinking about doing my own paper. So I spent 2009 to 2019 doing Flint Comics and Entertainment. And doing that really reinstilled my love of comics. It was a free-to-readers paper with comic strips, and it was advertiser supported, so I was able to give it away for free. So I had a set of newspaper boxes all over Flint and the surrounding area. It was Flint Comics and Entertainment. I still live in the Flint area, always raised in the Flint area. And we went through 100 issues of that paper on pretty much all of them were monthly. Towards the end, it went bi-monthly. The water situation here in Flint, that's everybody knows worldwide, sprung up, and it kept me from getting the advertising dollars for the paper that I used to. But the fun thing about doing the paper, outside of finding the love of comics again and realizing that everybody loves almost everybody loves comics. If they have a sense of humor, they love comics. But I was able to do conventions once a year in our local farmers market, and that enabled me I knew Varian a little bit before that at other shows, but Varian started coming to the shows and we started talking, and Varian and Krista, and it kind of grew out of that. And Varian kept asking, saying he was going to try different things, and we were bouncing ideas back and forth across one another. Varian had Indie Volt already running at this point, was doing a radio broadcast where he was playing mostly music. And the podcast situations on YouTube was just so much. There were so many people out there talking, and I spent some time, if you listen to the first part, I mentioned it, spent some time listening to those broadcasts. Some of them were good. Some of them were really, really bad. And it's like, we can't do any worse than those guys. Let's just So that's what really started the Indie Volt podcast 2 years ago, May. And all of that is shamelessly archived on the YouTube channel. So you can go back and see how ridiculous and clumsy, unprofessional we were. We're still not, well, I don't know. I guess we are professional. But
I'm professional.
We're professional. We're just not getting paid for it.
I'm the most professional person on this podcast. Thank you very much.
Varian has joined us now. Krista is with us, the Indie Princess. This is part 2 of the closing party. It's more like a closing gathering, celebrating Indie Volt Revolt. And again, with the bug springing up, I'm not sure if we wouldn't have met everybody if it wasn't for the fact that everybody was enclosed and indoors and out looking for something to do and to talk to each other and just get in touch with each other. I know our numbers jumped when the bug hit tremendously, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we started noticing like in the radio numbers just climbing every week, just up. And It was pretty cool. It was cool to see that, and starting to get the feedback and the interaction too. Because I can tell you guys from experience, you can have a lot of viewers, but that interaction is what helps.
Yeah.
And that's really where it matters. That interaction that we get, people in the comments, messaging back and forth, and getting to know these people, getting to know a lot of you guys, having you on the show. The making that circle of indie creatives and even the fans even just smaller, so you get to know these people. And there really is a lot of untapped genius out there, Andy.
Yes. Do we want to send links out to anybody?
Sure, so send some links out to people if they I guess if they want to. My stomach is starting to hurt, so I'm not leaving, but I may check out for a minute.
Well, I warned everybody this might be a very short part 2 because we had such way too much fun on part 1.
I am very happy with how this book performed, though. We you said it for $12.50, but we thought, okay, well, modestly, how much is this going to cost? And just the outpouring of support from people who want to be a part of the book. It was really, really, really cool. We had some people jump in here and want to be a part of it.
That's probably Joe D. McPhee. I sent him a link.
Yep. Adam.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Joe.
Yo.
Hey.
We're now joined by Joe D. McPhee.
Hello, everyone. I have to join by phone because my laptop is being used up right now by. If I can.
Well, we losing him.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm right here. I'm just trying to get in focus for getting before I can show what I was 3D rendering. But I'm good.
I'll tell you this. I've been doing a lot of 3D renders myself lately, and I didn't know my computer could get so loud. Because I bought the highest grade but most quietest hardware possible. Lola, I'll tell you, I was looking. I was studying decimals. Like, this one's only 5 decibels. This one's only 2.4. So my machine is very quiet until it starts to render 3D. Then it sounds like and I live very close to Selfridge Air National Guard base, and which is a Air Force base. Well, sometimes when my computer is rendering some of those videos, it sounds like a jet's taking off. It's like, what? Lola asked me, what is that sound? I said, my computer's making a video. Oh,
the number crunching behind it.
Yeah. That rendering. And I have an open air system, so it's got like a little plexiglass screen in front of it, and the whole system's open. And I thought that would be cool to keep it cool, and it probably does, but it's also a dust magnet.
Yes, very much a dust magnet.
Guys, I have a question for you. And just tell me what you think.
Here.
I had showed Randy. I was you guys know I'm always looking to support indie creators, and I found an indie creator who does not need my support in the slightest. This person does not need my support, but their items, some of the items on their store were priced to sell. I think that's fair to say. They had things for very cheap, and I wanted to buy some items, and I bought three items, and it came to $7. And I was like, okay, sweet, $7. I'll purchase these items, no problem. And I know I got to pay shipping and handling. I know that. I was prepared to pay shipping and handling. And I put in my address, and it totals it up. And I went to my cart, and it said, was it $34.99?
What? What are you charging for shipping and handling?
$27 something extra for shipping and handling. And this is basic. This wasn't 2-day. This is basic shipping and handling. And I was like, I screenshot and sent it to Randy. I'm like, what the hell? What? Why so much? And it hurt me. It hurt me. I was hurt. I wasn't even drunk. I was just hurt. I was like, man.
That made you grab the beer.
Yeah, yeah. Because I wanted the stuff I had bought. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have, especially one thing I would have had on the show. You know, I would have brought it on the show and set it here on my desk. But especially for the morning show. But I can't. I'm not gonna pay $30 for $7 worth of
Product
stuff. Yeah, yeah. When one thing I know they probably paid less than 95 cents for. In fact, I'm pretty sure their entire order, their cost was probably maybe $2.
Mm-hmm.
So I was paying. They got everything they have for $2. I was paying $7, but they were going to charge me a total of like 35 something dollars. It's like nah, yeah, nah. I'll let that stuff sit where it's at. Maybe I'll go to a con and see them, and I'll be able to pick it up.
Yeah,
for cheap. You know, that's what I miss about cons too. Oh, I'll get that at the show. Won't pay shipping and handling.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
knowing that they're going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people though I seen the guy added shipping and handling into his prices at the show. He did. His idea was his books online were cheaper, but when you added shipping and handling in, they were like $15, $20. But when you go to the show, like, okay, well, let me go to the show and pick the book up. He paid $20, and he had the books that had prices on them. And you're like, well, wait a minute, whoa, what? Yeah, $20 here at the show today. So that was his scam. His books were always gonna be $20 no matter what. At the show or on his site, they were always 20. Nefarious says part 2. Hey, Nefarious, I'm sorry, I see you through my mic hole.
Part 2.
Yeah. Part 2.
Thanks, Ryan. Says congratulations, Indie Volt.
Hey, Ryan, thank you.
Also says happy Friday, everyone. How are you? We're all doing okay.
Hanging in there, Ryan. Hanging in there.
Pop says, good job, Randy. I'm just putting this together and taking the print file to the printer. I do have 2 stories in the book. I was hoping to have another one that I had written, but the artist didn't perform or want to turn things in, and now he's not even answering my messages and texts. So that story did not make it. And I was really hoping it would, because it was a superhero story with the public domain Daredevil and Silver Streak in it. I was really hoping that and the guy has a really unique style, and I don't know what his problem was, but he just
old school acrobatic Daredevil.
Yes.
Okay.
The half red, half blue, boomerang throwing Daredevil. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was really looking forward to having that story in there too, but he didn't deliver. So maybe you'll see it some other place soon with another artist. You never know. So, or I might sit down and do it myself.
Revolt, part deux.
Revolt.
Part deux.
If you didn't see part 1, we had a good 7-8 people on, and we were all real happy. And a lot of those folks were over in Europe, where it's 3 or 4 in the morning there, so they had to move along, go to bed.
Yeah,
especially Russ. He's going to wake up tomorrow with a hangover. I know he will.
Yeah.
That was a lot of Jack he was drinking.
Yeah. If this would have been a con, there's a good chance that Russ is going to be at his table on time tomorrow.
He'd have been there by noon.
Yeah.
Remember those good old days of cons, conventions, and it was mostly like boys clubs, and we all sat around and drank, and nobody on Sunday showed up. At least none of the big guests, big stars, showed up at least until noon.
Yeah, because they were hungover in the rooms.
I remember doing a Chicago con, holding my head in my hands, sitting in on a Kamiko panel of what's his name, Willingham, explaining who the elementals were. I was sitting in the back of the room, literally holding my head, going, "Never again, never again."
Well, did you do it again?
No, actually, the last time I got seriously just raging drunk at a convention, Marvel paid for the booze. And I can happily say that they never paid for booze again.
You drunk them all out.
I drank myself sober, and I've only done that maybe once or twice in my life. But it got to the point we were at the party. I was drinking really hardcore screwdrivers, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm sober."
Did you remember any hijinks from that party? Maybe going up to someone and saying, "Hey, you can't draw Spider-Man for shit."
No, but like I said, they foolishly left a sketch pad, a very large sketch pad on an easel there.
Oh no.
And I'm sure they took it back to the main office when they were done, and they were like, none of us signed it. But I did do a picture of Bill Sienkiewicz was there at the show as well. I did a cartoon picture of Bill with his hand on his hip, holding his hand out, and he goes, "Oh, I got to draw another Elektra assassin book." Well, I don't know, maybe I think I'll make money. And he goes, and at the end he goes, "Damn it, Frank, hand me the Crayolas."
That's yeah.
I did another one of a guy with his looking over his shoulder going, "Yeah, I got a steel grip Starkey. I got an all-purpose power tool for you." That's what he said. Because at the time, Epic Comics had released Steel Grip Starkey and his all-purpose power tool, which wasn't a sexual innuendo at all. No. Remember that book, Joe? You ever see that book?
I barely remember it.
Yeah. Steel Grip Starkey and his all-purpose power tool. A high point in Marvel Publishing. Anyway.
Yeah.
High point Marvel.
One of the forgotten lost treasures of Marvel.
Yeah, it was a box with a handle on it, with like one of those bicycle grips on it, and he goes and grabs it, and it constructs things for it. And the classic page where he's grabbing it, and he's shaking it, and he goes, "This feels great."
See, I thought they were going to try to bring that back for damage control, but they just missed the boat on it.
I think they figured out what the sexual innuendo was all about the book, so they just kind of
sexual innuendo.
I do believe it lasted 3 to 6 issues, though. So
Not sexual innuendo.
No. That's why you have a Peter Parker and a Dick Ryder. Yeah, Richard Ryder.
Right.
No, just kidding.
Did you say Dick Ryder?
Yeah,
Well,
Richard Ryder. It's Nova. Richard Ryder. It's Dick Ryder. Yeah.
Technically, it's Dick Ryder. Damn.
Again, that's like all the memes that they're up here talking about between Peter Parker and Eddie Brock talking about. They're on the beach talking about, "I'm going to pound you. No, I'm going to pound you even harder. No, I'm going to pound you." It's like, and then it's like a guy and his people coming by. It's like, "Why don't you guys get a room?"
That's kind of funny. That's
so it's really got me worried because I sat and watched the trailer for Venom 2. And Eddie Brock in at the start of Venom 2 looks really exhausted, just browbeaten down. And I could just see Venom going, "You're not happy. I can make you happy." Anyway,
oh no. That's
the good thing about Venom 2 is who they cast for Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah. Is that Carnage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cletus Cassidy,
Oh yeah.
Right?
Woody Harrelson. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, somebody pointed out something to me. I gotta watch the movie. I got it on Blu-ray. I gotta watch Venom again because someone pointed out something to me on Twitter. They were like, "I don't remember him sounding that much like Cookie Monster in the first one." Like he really sounds like Cookie Monster, and I like, "Cats up," and you know, "I'll be happy to eat, Mrs. Shin." And the problem is I forgot all about that voice. So the problem is when the movie came out, I was doing that voice about maybe a month and a half later. Well, yeah, I was like I was doing it as my little side voice, like, you know, Laura sitting next to me, grab boob, you know, just and so it was. I would speak my thoughts as Venom. I'm fucked up in the head, guys. I'm not right. I need counseling. But now I'm afraid that movie's coming out, and I'm gonna go back to it. I enjoyed the first Venom. I don't care what people say. I enjoyed the first one. It wasn't perfect, but it was a fun romp.
I saw the trailer for 2 and thought, man, I really need to see 1. Yeah, I need to see the first one.
Yeah. I did, and that's Tom Hardy on the Venom voice too, I believe.
Is it? That's cool.
Yeah, he's doing the Venom voice.
The Venom voice.
Yeah. You do a good one. You do a good one, Randy. Yeah. And the part where he runs out the elevator, he's supposed to, the Venom symbiote wants him to jump out the window, and he doesn't. He takes the elevator, and it's one line in there which let me know what type of Venom I was getting. So he looks at the window, and then they show him push the he looks at the window, and he's thinking about it, and then the next scene is him pushing elevator button and standing in the hallway, and the symbiote says pussy, and yeah, I kind of want a symbiote now. Oh, sorry, a symbiote. Yeah. I want a symbiote.
I remember a Harlan Ellison story they ran. I believe it was in Heavy Metal or Playboy, one of the two, called a House of Nightlife in Cheldessa, where they had an alien race that popped in from another dimension, and they literally thrived on orgasmic energy.
Yeah. Breaking news. I'm sorry, and it's not comic related, but it is related to geekdom.
Okay.
I'm just learning that. 1 second, just so I can confirm this. Yeah. Okay. It is true. Jerome Young, aka New Jack, has passed away.
Who?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah.
New Jack the wrestler has passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm just learning that now. I had no idea. New Jack has passed away. That's very sad. New Jack was he was a crazy guy. He was, if you wrestled New Jack, there was a chance it was going to turn into a real fight.
If you did not know your cues, he would mess you up.
Yeah. There was the mass transit incident, which is where he got in the ring with a kid who said, "Oh, I can wrestle." As I recall, if I'm telling the story correctly, the kid could not wrestle. He had never had any training, or he had very limited training.
Limited training. He missed one mark and accidentally hit New Jack for real, and New Jack let him have it. He let him have it, and the kid was like, "What was all that for? You messed up."
Yeah, but it passed over. It went to felonious assault, as I recall.
Yes,
it passed.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, it wasn't just a little I'm gonna give you a couple of receipts and throw some potatoes. It became felonious assault because he was,
New Jack wasn't going to stop.
Yeah, New Jack was also, he didn't like you changing. Like, there are wrestlers, and again, I've wrestled. There are times where we could be locked up, and I'll tell Joe, like, Joe, my leg is fucked. I can't do that move. I can't. Something happened. My leg is messed up. And Joe, he'll say, okay, well, here's a new finish. Well, New Jack didn't believe in that. He didn't believe in, we're going to do a new finish. He's like, no, I'm going to throw you off the top of the, ramp here. You're going to go, you're going to go, 10 feet down through that table.
Right.
And he did it to somebody, and they said they still can't, see right out of their right eye.
Oh,
their head, and still get headaches and all type of other shit, because he was like, dude, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You can see New Jack saying, no, fuck that, and tossing him. So yeah, New Jack has passed away at 58 years old, I think he said. Okay, 58.
Like I said, he's been through a lot, and like you said before, he does not believe in that signal, that X signal. It's like the referee gives that X, like, hold up, we got to change something.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
New Jack will fuck you up because of that.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Very sad.
Now, with that news, I need to go and find what McCall is going to say now. What's his name? Cornette.
Oh yeah, that'd be very interesting.
Find out what Jim Cornette going to say now.
I'd like to see what Terry Reynolds is going to say.
Jim Cornette really put New Jack on the map.
Yeah,
he was the one that truly put him on the map.
I didn't see what Terry Reynolds is going to say. I don't think there's any love lost there.
Nope.
No love lost there. Terry Reynolds said that he said that Terry Reynolds gave him some gifts. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He said that she gave him some gifts. She's a very attractive woman. Used to be married to Goldust. And very attractive woman. I don't blame him. I didn't know she was. If I'd have known that Terry like the brothers, I might have made me a shot. I want to take a shot, but anyway,
No, but then again, it's like her and a couple more that was in WWE at that time were known, and the whole thing about the Fabulous Moolah was true. And when that came out, I was like, "Oh snap!
Yeah,
that's gonna fuck up women's wrestling for the WWE if they really divulge who was involved with all of that."
You know, and for a second, I want to take that to comics for a minute. And Randy, where are we at? Where are we at?
What?
I see more on my page.
What?
I see more on my hit reload. I see more on my page.
Do you?
Yeah.
Refresh.
Yeah.
Boom. Yes. Another backer. Thank you.
2 backers. It was 61. Now it's 63.
Oh no, it's 63.
Yeah.
We're at 23.75. Thank you. Only 5 hours left though.
I remember, Randy. We talked about women's wrestling has kind of women's wrestling. What one woman does, or women do something kind of, don't do that, Randy.
Oh,
I took you off the page.
Sorry.
You're about to dox all of your followers.
No, not very many. I was just going to look at the first 2, but that's okay. Sorry about that. I wasn't even thinking.
So
wow. Okay, you can put it back up now.
All right, there we go.
Thank you.
So I seen but we think about women in comics, and we know there are some women in comics who have done some kind of unscrupulous things. Some men too. A lot more cases of men. But there have been some women who've done some pretty shitty things. But the women in wrestling will hold the other women accountable. You know, whereas we don't really have that in comics. We don't have people say, hey, I know what you did. I know what you're trying to do. It needs to stop. I kind of wish we did. I wish we kind of did have that accountability in comics that we did. Because coming from a wrestling background, I remember, the locker room, the boys in the locker room will let you know the shit you're pulling is not acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we had that in wrestling. And I wish in comics.
You mean comics, yeah.
Because I remember that locker room.
That top rope, huh?
Yeah. And I remember knowing, sitting in that locker room, lacing my boots up, that shit could happen. And if I didn't pay the right respect to someone, there was like a hierarchy.
Could be a broken arm for
yeah.
That could be a broken arm or a lost tooth, because they will go. You be thinking it's like, okay, it's all scripted, and next thing you know, pow, one right to the eye. It's like, where did that come from? Oh, I did slip. My bad.
Yeah,
but he really meant to hit you.
Yeah, and you know what I was told, and it sticks to me. It sticks to me even today. And even in life now, he said, look, he says, you get in the ring with somebody, he says, mistakes happen. This is my teacher, who was a wrestling trainer, said, mistakes happen. He says, but I don't care if you're in the ring with Triple H. If he hauls off and he hits you more than once, he still hits you one time, okay, and he apologizes immediately afterwards. My mistake. The second time, give his ass the receipt.
Yeah.
And haul back and pop him one. And I thought, well, wait a minute, Triple H. But he says you have to, because they're testing you. And I thought, man, if we had that in comics, hey, okay, you screwed up. That's cool. I'm letting that slide. The second time, nah. I'm gonna pull back and throw a potato right into your damn eye. You can't do that to me. I wish we had a little more accountability. Why don't you guys think we have that in comics? What's wrong?
Well, right now we have the social platform problem, where it's easier to spout venom like on Twitter or cause drama on Facebook than it is because you're not looking at that person in real life. So you have that removal of the sanctity of your own home, where you can sit there and throw whatever mud you want with an idea of safety. Mm-hmm. Where, like you keep saying, once the convention scene picks back up again, there might be a completely different set of etiquette, especially here on social media.
Yeah, I honestly think we're gonna, like, we're gonna see some fights.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a major drop off in production for some people too.
That's very likely.
Yeah, because now all of a sudden I can go to the movies again. I can go to sporting events again. I can go to the bar again. I'm out of here. Bye. And there are gonna be people who do that. They're gonna maybe start not hitting that art table as hard as they once were.
And then the second part is like, suppose you do have a book that's somewhat popular. Now the people want to see you, and you don't go to a show because I'm too busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
I got a life now because I'm not stuck inside. But you got fans that's looking for your next book.
Yep.
Got drop off that way too.
That's true. That's true. We have people that get. I think that we're gonna get some fights, though, guys. Honestly, I think there are people who have gotten used to the convention side and are not having conventions. In fact, there are probably people who like. I hate to bring this up, but like, I'm sure there are people who we know that people who are cheap, and we know that there are ways that you can try to spin things to make yourself look a little bit better, or appear to be a little better. So, like, okay, if I'm cheap, what's the first thing? Randy, we've seen it. We've seen it before. We've seen people come and say, "Hey, I wish that Mark." From Grandpa's Comic Con was in the chat because he could probably attest to this. People, I'm sure it's happened to you too. You ran a convention. Hey, I'm this person. Here's my accomplishments. I need a free table to your show. And,
I hate to admit it, but I've done that before.
Well, yeah, but see, the thing is, you've got credits. You've got credits. There are people who don't. So what they do is some people start manufacturing drama and manufacturing shit to get themselves, So, I didn't want to, like, for instance, I remember there was a guy who went on Wizard World, and I was getting ready to go packing my bags, and I seen he had hashtag Wizard World, and he said, trying to get a table, no one's calling me back. What the hell? Because it was Wizard World Chicago. And I said,
good luck with that.
Yeah, and no one's coming. And we're packing bags. We're leaving. And everybody especially gets punched in the face. Might say, yeah, that's true, JD. And we're packing bags, and I see this, and I'm like, oh, this guy must not have the numbers to the to management there. I have the numbers, so I screenshot the numbers and sent them to him. I said, here's the numbers you can call. This is what I call when I need to ask a last minute question. Here, call them. And hearing back, yeah, thanks. I called, I didn't get a reply. They're kind of jerking me around. I'm really pissed. And just so happens that I had asked Eric, I said, oh, I reached out to this guy and told him, and Eric said, oh, no. That guy is trying to get a free table. He's a nobody who wants a free table to the show because he's local to that event. So he's one of Joe's. He's a Chicagoan, and he's local to that event, and he wants a free table. And I said, oh, okay. Now, so I had, I wasn't mad. I wasted maybe 3 minutes getting that screenshot for him, but it didn't matter. Okay. And then maybe an hour or 2 hours later, he's on that bad mouth from the show. Oh, they told me that I couldn't come to the show because apparently there was a problem last year. You know what? I'm going to be down at so-and-so comic store this weekend selling my books instead of there. You know what? We're going to do our own thing. They're going to be having great prices on their comics, a sale. I'm going to be down there. Don't go to the con. Support a real local artist. And he basically, Joe, the phrase from the 90s or maybe the early 2000s, he made a band. He's over there making the band, making up these fucking lies so that he can excuse his cheapness. The fact of the matter is, you don't have the $300, $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000 to buy a table to secure a spot.
That's the bad thing, because Wizard World before 2010 with one of the cheapest artist alley tables ever at like 250 to 300. There's no reason why you couldn't get an artist alley table unless they sold out.
Well, yeah. But some people are so full of themselves, they're like, I need a free table. How dare they charge me? And they walk in the show and they're like, you know, if you want a free table, how about paying that exhibitor, that promoter, doing 4 or 5 tables, paying for your tables for 4 or 5 years, and then maybe you can go to them on that 5th year and say, hey, you know, I'm getting quite a following. You know, my money's getting tight. You think I might be able to get on the guest list for next year? How about that? You can't do that. They don't care. Also, the other thing is, I know one artist who did something pretty it was disingenuous but genius. Is there such a word as disingenuously genius? He got a bunch of people. He had access to a bunch of young or aspiring artists. He sold them on the idea that he was great, and and told the convention, hey, I told them, go to this convention, sign up, and let them know that I sent you and you want to be close to me. Okay? And when he did that, then he would go tell the convention, you know, the only reason those people are coming is because of me. Creators want to be near me. Make it happen. I need some more space. I need a better spot. And you would see these creators fight to get a spot next to this person. Or close by this person. They want the spot. Please put me next to him. What do you mean I can't be next to him? Fuck! I gotta be close to him. I'll pay the extra $100. And the convention started giving him free tables. And I said plural, tables. Because they knew that he was good for 6 artists. 6 artists were going to come through the door and get exhibitor booths just so they can be near him. Genius. And the motherfucker couldn't draw to save his life. But false clout. But genius, very smart. And I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. I'm not even dissing.
That's just smart marketing.
Yeah.
That's like false clout, but ingenious marketing.
Yeah, I can't even get mad at it. I'm like people like JD Rosario says the manning tables of little to no credits is like so-called managers and editors selling their skills with little to no experience. Stop. Learn to make a book. Put a catalog of work and show diversified credits from working in different genres. JD, do you want a link?
JD, I'll send you. I sent a link. I put it in the chat thread that we have.
Yeah, come on in,
JD. You're welcome in here. Come on in.
Yeah. I
I'm sorry for laughing. I just know people who resemble that last remark.
They give me a free table right now. What do you mean I can't have a free table? Fuck your con. You guys are racist. What?
I have heard that several times over. I mean, in Chicago, I swear, a lot of locals here just don't get it. That's why I appreciate Read exhibitions so much. When they had their come to Jesus meeting with me, and they explained.
JD's not at home right now. So
okay.
He's talking to his phone. So it's all good.
They explained to me when they come to Jesus meeting how Artist Alley really works, and I was like, oh, and it's like, but Joe, you have more than one title. Why would you come in as a legitimate publisher? And they sat me down. They told me all the advantage of it, and from that point forward, I went with exhibitor's booth instead of an Artist Alley table. And even now, I'm kind of grandfathered in for C2E2, and can pretty much almost write my way into places like Emerald City in New York if I need to.
I don't mean to cut you off here, but leave it to my Facebook. Leave it to my Facebook followers and friends to post memes that are so inappropriate for I posted rest in peace to New Jack. As a wrestling fan, you'll get this because it's a double whammy.
Okay.
Here you go, Jody. You may have to mute your mic because Joe has a very infectious laugh if he's really like laughing at something. Here we go. So there's Joe's camera. He's that was
That's accurate.
yeah. Inappropriately accurate. Chris Sanchez and that's everything. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Poor Mass Transit did pass away recently. I think it was last year, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year Mass Transit passed away. He was battling some demons, I believe, and he had some problems and he couldn't overcome them, but he passed away. And now New Jack is
there. I gotta see what Jim Cornette says in his next podcast.
Yeah,
he's going to talk about.
Yeah, and Eric's down at a wrestling show right now, so it's definitely hitting Eric hard.
He's definitely going to. They're probably definitely talking about that now.
Oh yeah, Eric said everyone down there is kind of like, wow, New Jack Pass is crazy. I normally do like to go to a lot of those shows with Eric because I like to meet the wrestlers, and I'm shocked about the size of some of these guys, and then at the time that I realized that Rey Mysterio was taller than me, and I'm like, Ray's taller than me,
taller than you.
Not that much, but enough. Somebody had him listed as 5'6" at one point. And, I'm like, Ray's not 5'6".
That'd be like more like my height.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio's not my height.
Yeah.
I have seen him in person before. He's not my height. Just like everybody think John Cena is like this big guy. It's like John Cena is barely like 6'1".
Yeah. He's not
all that big.
John's just wide.
Mm-hmm.
John's wide. I've joked about it. I seen Billy Gunn at a show, and I'm like, how big is Billy?
Muscular. He's just juiced, like muscular. He's not a tall guy, but he's just like a double take.
Everyone's tall to me.
All clothed up, it's like okay, he looks like a normal guy. As soon as he takes like the shirt off, it's like, damn. It's like, I don't want to get hit by that.
Randy's super tall compared to me. But Randy's tall. You're tall, Randy. What are you, 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2". I tell you, I don't have much reference for wrestling, but I did take my stepson to Halloween Havoc one time down in Detroit at the Palace. Yeah. And I did it for two reasons. One, they had all those people there. I knew who they were. I mean, Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair was there. It was a cage match. And I went to see Sabu, the great Sabu. Because every time I saw Sabu on television, I was just impressed as hell because he would stand on the third rope and do a backflip down onto people. Yeah. That's the most craziest acrobatic thing I've ever seen. And I had to go see that live. So I was really glad that I went. Well, he was the stepson was right at that age for wrestling too. I told him we had to make a run down to one of the distributors in Detroit. Didn't even tell him I was taking him wrestling and wanted him to come with me. He's like, oh, okay, I'll go. So we drove down there and I pulled into the Palace and he's, why are we here? I said, well, it's time to go see some wrestling. And he, I had a couple signs made up and we were right in camera view. It was a good time. But anyway, the other thing that I remember about that show is I saw Lex Luger down there. And out of everybody down there, Lex Luger is impressive in person. And you sit there and you go, he looks exactly how he looks on television. And that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I mean, he cut, buff, just boom. Dude, you need to be in this is before the superhero movies sprung up, but holy crap, that guy had a superhero proportion.
Yeah, he's got that pinched nerve in his back right now, which left him paralyzed, unfortunately. It's sad he's in a wheelchair. Now he still looks like Lex facially, but and he's still Lex. He's just he's in a wheelchair now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same physique anymore.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
But yeah, Lex was a big guy. I remember
this was right at his prime. It was just wow, dude. Holy crap.
Later in life, he got down to right around the time I was getting ready to graduate high school. He got down to 2% body fat, And I was like, what? 2% body fat?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 70% body fat. Yeah, I don't know if people realize, I don't think, can you live like that for long? Don't you need body fat? Like, imagine getting down to like what are you trying to get down to? Where's
I think he fluctuated. He fluctuated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he probably got down as low as 2% body fat. He probably and his wrestling, he probably was at 8% body fat. And then he said, "Well, just say 2. It's fine. 2% body fat is fine." It's like they used to say that. Who was it? They said someone was taller than they were, and it was like then they would stand next to the other person. You're like, no, they're not. I remember someone trying to say though that Sting was the same height as Giant, and I'm like, no. Now, Undertaker is not that tall. He's tall, but when I remember when they had to do when DDP came over to WWE and he got Undertaker's face and they were nose to nose, and I was like, wait, what the hell? How was DDP nose to nose with Undertaker? And it didn't dawn on me. DDP's a tall motherfucker. Mm-hmm. He's not a little guy. But I would just used to him.
I think DDP was like 6'6".
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like 6'6" or something like that. But he's not a buff guy either. He's just a tall guy.
So, question for you guys: which wrestler or which artist you think could have made it as wrestlers? You think any comic personalities could have made it as wrestlers? I could see Stan making it as a wrestler back in the day.
I could see Stan making it as a promoter.
Yeah. He could have had the Excelsior drop.
Yeah. Like the guy that used to run around with the bullhorn, the skinny dude.
Jimmy Hart. Yeah,
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guy, I gotta tell you, you're fired. You're fired. Nah, man. You're out of here. I don't know how Stan would fire anybody.
At his prime, I wouldn't have wanted to have to wrestle Jack Kirby. He was short, but I bet he was powerful in his day.
Ditko's a heel. Ditko's constantly a heel.
You're never gonna know about Ditko.
Yeah, the only thing for sure about Ditko is that nothing's for sure. He's a Sting.
The only person that I know that probably has a physique for wrestling is Phil Jimenez. He does have a physique for wrestling.
Maybe Mike Grell a decade or so ago, back when he was doing Sable.
Yeah. The wife has told me I could wrestle one more match. She told me I could wrestle one more, but I need to get completely healthy, lose some weight, and I can wrestle one match. Because I do want Caden to see me wrestle at least one match. I taught him a lot of the moves. I showed him a lot of stuff, how not to get hurt.
Yeah.
But
you taught him how to take a bump.
I've shown him how to take a bump. I've told him that this is to show you how to eliminate the assurance that you're gonna get hurt. You will get hurt. It hurts. There's no, I know how to. Yeah.
You're getting hit. You're literally getting hit.
Yeah.
How do you take that hit?
Yeah, and he likes it. He likes it. It's weird. He likes it. He does not want to be a wrestler though. But he likes wrestling with me. He likes me flipping him on his head. I'll powerbomb the shit out of him sometimes just because if there is snow outside, he knows that at some point he's getting powerbombed in the snow. But he's he wants to be a comic book artist. He wants to be, and he looks at the art of Dave Pilkey. He looks at the art of Eric Hodson. Those are the guys he looks at, and he's like, I want to draw like them. And he doesn't like. He want to draw like I draw too real. He says. Like, I draw real, me.
It's like you draw too real, but Eric Haas is who he looks at.
Yeah, I'm like, have you like Eric?
The script is almost done for his book.
Is it?
Yeah, there's like 5 more pages for his book, and his book is done scripted.
Yeah. Well, I think he likes Eric better than me. Let's take a look at the campaign, Randy. Where are we at?
Yeah, where we're at campaign wise.
We're at 23.75, 63 backers, 5 hours left. 190%.
Refresh.
Hit the
It's
flexible
almost been
goal.
an hour. Yeah, it's almost been an hour.
I think I just did refresh. Boom. It's the same amount.
Yeah, 2,175. Yeah, we 63 backers. Can't that's.
I still regret that I don't have anything in this book, but it came at a time where I was still working with Amazonia number 7, and I was like in the middle of like really penciling that and going to town on it.
Mhm.
I just couldn't stop doing that, and then make sure I have a brand new story for this book.
Mhm. Now, I have a question for you, Joe. You back quite a few books.
Yeah, I think
And
I need to back her like number 2 or number 3 for this campaign.
okay, yeah, you back a lot of books.
I think so. Thanks for doing that, by the way.
And I was talking to a comic book creator the other night, and we're talking about a lot of people who do digital rewards, and there's a lot. You know, hey, buy this, I'll send you 5 free PDFs. And I talked to him. He says, "Oh fuck, man, I'll throw those in the trash. I'll delete those right out of my mailbox. I don't give a fuck about the digital shit." That's what that was his exact phrasing. I don't care about digital shit. Fuck it. You delete it the minute it comes through. Do you feel that way? Do you get that? Have you ever got a digital perk or a digital reward or digital tier, and or not that you bought the digital package, but like they said, hey, here's, because some of those packages get like huge. Like there's no way I'm turning down 20 books. You know,
I think I backed one campaign that had close to like 15, and I ended up downloading them, but I haven't read all of them. That's because there's not a physical book. I'd rather have the physical book.
So you would have read them all if you had a physical book, is what you're telling me. That's interesting.
I've got digital files sitting in my computer, PDFs that I haven't even cracked open to read. That folks have sent me. Just no real motivation, you know.
I will say that I get for Indie Volt for reviews, people send us the digital submissions. I'm like, okay, I'll send this over to one of our viewers, and a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got it." Like, don't lose it because it'll get knocked in your mailbox. It'll be way down at the bottom. You won't find it. Well, send me a physical copy. I don't have a physical copy. They've elected to send it digitally, and you know, when you're submitting your books or reviews, especially the Indie Volt, and I say this because people may listen to this forever. You can submit digitally. That's fine. But our rating system, one of the categories that we take into account is production. So we're looking at the print quality. Now I know people are going to say, well, it's not fair to rate me on the physical appearance of my book, but isn't it though?
Yeah.
Because at some point you got that book in the mail, you approved that proof, or you got a bundle of those books and you sent them out to backers or to the stores or whatever. So, you know, we look at that and we grade. And now we're not going to say it's your fault, but if your cover is lopsided on all your books, then we're going to say, yeah, the cover was lopsided, or page 2 repeats. I had a Marvel comic where the damn thing repeated at the end of the book. Hey, it's Luke.
Hey, there he
What's
is.
up, guys?
He's got a hat.
I'm wearing a jaunty hat.
Comics Mate also says g'day.
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 Luke, I just asked. First of all, you're familiar with wrestling a little bit, right?
With who?
With wrestling.
Familiar with wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah, pro wrestling.
Yeah.
New Jack died.
New Jack is dead.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how'd that happen?
I don't know yet. This word came out that he passed away, and so we've been. Joe D and myself took a drink in his honor, his memory.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Sponsored by. Here's my whole comic book career right now is sponsored by coffee and this stuff.
Yeah.
And just for people to know how serious I am about wrestling, I actually do comics about women's superpower for women's pro wrestling. So
you do, yeah.
This is stuff that I'd have to keep up with. Oh, you want to do it again? Okay.
Yeah. Hold that up there. Yeah. There's Jug.
There's 2 things that I know about Joe D. McPhee.
It's like one of the version variants of Primetime Saturday Night Zero.
You said there's 2 things you know about Joe?
Yes, 2 things I know about Joe D. McPhee. He ain't got no time for stupid people. And he loves wrestling.
Yeah. He's
I watch a lot of it because I have to. One of my failings is I have a hard time scripting fights. I don't want my fights to always seem the same thing over and over and over again, especially when you're dealing with wrestling. most of your story is within the fight itself.
You know, I don't have that problem. All I got to do is I say something insensitive to my wife, and next thing I know, I've got a whole fight scripted. Knockouts and everything. Yeah, crazy.
Luke, before you came in, I had asked if when you back a campaign, and you see those campaigns that are like, hey, there's a few of them. You know, you back this book, you're gonna get, you know, like 3 of my previous works digitally. And there's some people, you know, I think you were on a campaign that you guys did that. You put like a bunch of different PDFs from different people in there. Hey, you're going to get all these PDFs. I seen one that had like 20 people, 20. And I was like 20 different. I'm like, wow. And that was a nice, I mean, because the book was cheap and I'm going to get these PDFs. And Joe, I talked to another creator last night, and he was like, "Oh, fuck that! No, I'm not looking at those books. I delete them the minute they go in my inbox." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck this."
I know who said that. I know.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that, Luke? Do you delete them? Do you redo the PDFs? Or
no, man, I check them out, man. Someone worked hard to put those together, and man, I offer it with mine. Like right now, on my campaign, we're like, what is it, like 13 people away from unlocking a digital collection of PDFs from creators that you know, different people that have put together stories, so that you can kind of get this this tasting, if you will, like this buffet of different stories. Because you know, if a creator is willing to share with me all these other books, that they might think that I might like one of them, right? So I mean, my next favorite book might be in that list, so I wouldn't delete them.
That's a good way to think of it. Yeah, I mean, I know that sometimes people will see that big download and they're like, "Oh, I'm not downloading that shit." But give it a try. Give it a try. You might find your next favorite in there. I went to a site that I'm not supposed to go to. And I read
AhoyComics.com.
Yeah, you can say that. And no, I'll be honest with you guys. I went over there to what's it called? What's Fox Day site?
Arc something.
Arc. I went over there because I know people are like, it's Fox Day, you can't go. And I went over there and I found 2 books over there. And I only stayed for a while, but I started reading. The art pulled me to one book, and I'm like, what is this? And I'm reading, and I'm like, hey, this looks pretty good. Hey, this is good. You know, this is good stuff. Oh, we lost you.
So he said, you know what?
Yeah, you mentioned Archie when I'm out. It was a good book. It was a good book. The second one I read was a good book. So, you know, don't discount those digital comics. Some of them, and they'll move to print if you support them.
Well, I also think that's another evidence that you can't discount of creators' politics, or you know, for the quality of product that they do. You really have to get past that. Sure, if that person's got a heavy political message, or even to some people, even a heavy religious message, you have reason to pass that by. But you really have to look at quality as opposed and entertainment value.
I can get past, you know, someone being not the same political affiliation as me. I can get past that. There are certain things I cannot look past. So like if you're out and out racist, I'm like, okay, well,
that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That is completely
that's not a political affiliation.
Yeah.
No matter what people want to tell you, that's not a political affiliation.
Right.
That's just being a garbage human being.
Yeah. Right.
That is a whole different thing.
So there are a lot of people like, I can't go on that site because Vox is the white supremacist, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I went on there because I didn't realize what it was. I was like, what is this? What are these comics? Oh, this is cool.
Now, if it was a site preaching white supremacy, then no, definitely not. But you can't judge, you know,
because there are other creators there who are, you know.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Now, I would say this too. I would ask any black creator, have you gone over there? You put your stuff up there. Let's see if you're getting off the platform because you're not black. Let us know. So because you're not white, then let us know. We'll love the, you know, we'll cover that. You got knocked off the platform because you're not white. Oh shit.
It's kind of like, it's fun. It's so funny because, you know, there are certain groups in comics that people say, well, you can't associate with them. They're not diverse or whatever. And what's funny is, like, you've got people that are diverse that might want to go into that particular affiliation, but they're being shamed not to because it's not diverse. Well, you just shut up and let them come over. Like, go over there. They'd be a diverse group. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Suddenly they'll be diverse.
Yeah, it's like if you would
Who
just
knows?
shut up for a second,
Yeah.
just shut up and make your comic book. If someone's racist, yeah, I don't want to support anybody that's racist or bigoted or anything like that. I don't really care about your look. I have this rule. I say I don't care who or what is between your legs, and I don't care who you vote for. Like that's kind of my thing. Just be competent in your writing and your storytelling. Don't try to preach at me. Because people can tell if they're being preached at. I mean, trust me, I'm a preacher. I know. People know if they're being preached at. So I just do those things and make good comics. And man, I don't care. I don't care what you look like, who you are. Doesn't matter.
Joe's back. He figures you're done talking about
I had
box
technical difficulty on the phone, aka I had to plug it into a charger.
Randy, I have a question for you. I noticed that the Indie Volt Revolt book, unlike most crowdfunded books, had no outside of the book stretch goals. So there was no stickers, no bookmarks, no prints.
We do have a print that was offered by Daphne Lage that we're supposed to send out to people.
Right.
But,
so
but that was an add-on, and that was out of her generosity, which we're grateful for.
Right.
But
so
it was a physical choice because to me, when I order these books, and I've ordered more crowdfunding in the last 2 years, I think, than I've ordered books off of Amazon or have bought books fresh off of bookstore. Ollie's doesn't count with that because I've walked out of there with boxes full of stuff.
Right.
But the add-ons, the posters, the sometimes the bookmarks are cool, especially on the larger books. The stickers are cool. Sometimes the trading cards are awesome, but it's not a driving force for me. That wasn't the purpose behind doing this book. It wasn't to give away the sticker or the bookmark or anything like that. The real purpose for the Indie Volt Revolt book was to show the audience the level of talent that passes through our podcasts and just the variety of people and the techniques and just the sheer talent, I guess. There's no other, I can't come up with better words this late at night for me, but it was really to showcase the talent of the people that are on the podcast more than to offer tchotchkes. That's why I offered more pages into the book, the more backers we got, because it was worth it to me to get more examples of folks out there and their works into people's hands than it is to, another 5 backers and you get a sticker. I'm not saying
Randy, you're chucking me under the bus. Dang it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying those are bad things. And tchotchkes a lot of times can be a lot of fun. It's just that
tchotchkes.
For this book, that's not the purpose. That's not the purpose for this. If I do a Tales from the Anniversary omnibus, which I'm hoping to get done, eventually within the next year or so or a couple years, I want to bake that book really, really thick with all of the Anniversary stories. But I also want to start offering a whole series of trading cards because there's a whole cast of characters in the Anniversary. I think they'd make great cards. I also think they'd make great statues. That's a whole different matter. But for this book, for the Revolt book, Indie Volt, showing off the Indie Volt talent was more important to me than to offer the individual add-ons. So more pages, absolutely. More variety, more great stuff to read.
And the thing is,
in the long run, that might have really hurt the campaign.
Actually, I think it probably helped it more so than anything because you made it quite clear that was your goal.
Yeah.
And as people joined on to this venture, that was one of the things that kind of enticed me to, if I wasn't doing my own book, I would have jumped on this because everybody's audience was going to jump on this book because we're giving Randy brand new stories, stuff that have not been seen before, and our audience wants to see our work.
Yeah.
Let alone the audience for Indie Volt as a whole here. So you don't really need the tchotchkes. You don't need the extra art prints and the bookmarks and the enamel pins and all this other stuff. If for like what he did, for every 25 backers, there's going to be 10,
and
20,
at
30
least
more
10 pages. Yeah.
You're getting more content in the long
Yep.
run.
And at this point, I honestly can't tell you what the end page count is going to be. I mean, I've got a story from Luke that we're throwing in, right?
Yep.
I got a story from other folks that are going in. I've got another story that I just, decided the other day that would be cool for the book that I wrote that J.R. Harris did the artwork on that we'll probably put in there as well. So I can't. It'll be bigger than 130 pages. That's for sure.
True.
That's a fat book.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun of this is picking up and being able to read a variety of stories like that.
I'll say this too. I just, in the defense of what you did, I recently backed a book on Indiegogo, and I got the book in the mail, and it was full of shit. I'm talking about they had thrown it looked like they put 20 of the same sticker in there. You could tell they want to get rid of the shit themselves.
Yeah.
So everyone's getting 20 of this, haphazardly cut sticker, by the way. They cut it themselves. They probably got a sheet and they just cut it themselves. Here, take this. Oh, here, take these, flimsy ass cards. Take these. It was a bunch of shit. They threw it in the campaign, and the campaign had been closed for some time. So when I backed it, it was ready to go.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. I was like, oh, the book wasn't that bad, but the shit that they sent could have. I felt like I got a freebie bag. You walk through the con, or you used to be able to go to the con and get a bunch of freebies, and I felt like it was a lot of shit that you just did not want. And if those are stretch goals, then your customers got cheated. Randy,
the add-ons in Revolt. I'm sending extra copies of older Arrow comics out. The add-on as you go out the door is 5 copies of comics that I was involved with that you can buy in on, and I'll sign, bag, and board those. Everything's coming bagged and boarded anyway. So
I kind of wish that you could have bought multiples of that add-on, because I would have bought more of those books from you on the help Randy clean out his closet. I probably would.
It's basement. Yeah, that's why I've got the sheet up here. You can't see all of the books that are back behind me. And with Arrow Comics, when it was out before, I was in it with a publisher that is a retailer up in Saginaw, and he ended up taking a pickup truck full of boxes of comics out of here of overstock that I've been sitting on for 20 years. So that was part of the other Arrow Comics stuff. So
Joe, you said you would have bought more?
Yeah, I would have bought more of that add-on, but you can only get it one. Because I'm trying to. It's like people who know me. I'm more when I in that collector mentality. I want to get the older stuff more so than the newer stuff.
Well, everybody that ordered, everybody that got the add-on and that's the bare minimum of what they're going to see from me. I do plan on cleaning a bit out of the basement. Yeah. So you might get more than 5. The people that added on might get more than 5 books. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what the Gemini mailers are going to be able to hold and how thick the Revolt book itself is going to be. So I don't want to have to stack people in boxes. So yeah.
Just to give you an idea, I just got through sending issues 0 through 3 to an individual Primetime Saturday Night.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, each issue of Primetime Saturday Night is 50 plus pages. So that's 200 pages worth of content that I sent out of 4 issues that are each one 50 pages plus in a Gemini mailer. So you can send over 200 pages.
Oh, that's cool. Good. Yeah.
And I would advise, Randy, we got 5 hours left on this campaign?
We do. It's over at 3 a.m. Yeah, our time.
I would advise people because I got caught my pants down on the book, and I had to go over to eBay and pick it up, and I had to pay.
It's so embarrassing when you do that. I mean,
yeah,
it is.
My suggestion: lock the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I was caught my pants down holding the comic, but I can explain.
couldn't
I don't tell
explain.
her.
They
I've been
all say
drinking too
that.
much. I was gonna tell an embarrassing story of a friend of mine, but I decided not to. I'm gonna save him his dignity. Let's just say that. Let's just say that he was detailing after cleaning out his bowels. He was detailing, and he ended up. His girlfriend walked in on him detailing, and caught him with his leg up on the counter, and was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Huh?" And he said the relationship was downhill from that point. Anyway, this book can end up on eBay for much more than you're being asked to pledge now.
Well, also some of the stories that are here, you're never going to see reprinted again. I mean, Eric has already promised that he's got a Secret Origin of Dreaded Dinosaur Man in there. And after this, it's not going to be reprinted that I know of. He might do it much, much later down the road, but some of these stories aren't going to be reprinted again or for a long time.
Yeah, it's 4 hours left. 4 hours left for this campaign. And guys, again, you don't want to be that person that's to go over on eBay and pick it up and pay $60 for, or $70 or $100 for all 4 covers, or
$250.
Yeah.
$250.
Yeah,
because of the page content.
There's a flipper market out there that I was just made aware of, and the prices.
You mean old crazy comic Tom, who's on every week talking about what books are going to be hot?
Yeah. No, I'm talking for indie books.
Oh, cool.
Like there's a flipper market out there on eBay, and it's insane. I'm seeing people's books go for people's books go for $120, $120, $150.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the covers, are basically what appeal to some people. Whereas other books, they don't. Like Larry just had his book up there for $150. Then I looked at who else's book was that? It was crazy. There was someone else's book. I looked, and they were asking $200 for just the basic comic. Just the comic. This isn't a trade, people. These are comics.
Yeah. Well, that's something I don't think a lot of people have fully wrapped their head around is the crowdfunding campaigns. The majority of them are print on demand, and the majority of them are incredibly low print runs for their backers, and a couple extra to help the next campaign. But they are all limited runs. So, and this book, once this campaign is over, we're printing a little extra for damages, but after that, it's done. So we're moving on to the regular Arrow line for the direct market through Liberty.
So there's this Revolt book won't be reprinted.
No.
This is the only time you're going to get this 130-page plus version. And I feel like I'm on Home Shoppers Network.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, Diane, this book is going to be reprinted. And I've talked to the publisher, and they've guaranteed me that this book will not be republished ever. So definitely something you can put up. You're gonna want to put this book up, and you're gonna want to pull it out in 20 years and put your kids to college. I can guarantee you, because they used to have those guys on Home Shoppers Network with the comics. I remember that, and foolishly, like a freaking idiot, I begged my dad to let me use his credit card to buy some Superman foil comics.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I bought them. I paid $59 or $49.95, or I can make some easy flex payments, but I went ahead and paid the whole $50. And I got those books 6 weeks later, wrapped them up. They're all worth like 50 cents, 75 cents now. I want to whoop somebody at Home Shoppers Network's ass.
Yeah, let me tell you something though. I have found this is
Onslaught that I bought. Yeah. That gold cover Onslaught #1 that I bought. That bought at $150.
Okay, so I have found this
24 karat gold.
How much is it now?
About like $5.
Damn.
Some indie creators are taking their books and they're listing them on eBay for those prices. Yes, I've caught a couple of them doing it.
Oh shit!
to try to like, hey, look at this. Someone's selling my book. It's going for this on eBay. So you need to come back my project.
Yeah.
Dude, that's your freaking account. Come on, fool. What are you doing?
Again, marketing 101.
I can go create an eBay account and stick my books up there for $200. Like, oh, you see that issue's going for $200. It ain't $200. No one's gonna buy that thing. It ain't sold. It's been listed for 120 days.
You can you might be able to list that though, and then go to the local pawn shop and be like, hey, I got this comic book. You guys interested? Pawn shops will not take comic books. And I know this because one of my comic stores I used to there was a comic store down the street. Well, not down the street, but I used to go to he moved Comics and More. He used to be down the strip mall from a pawn shop, and that pawn shop would get people would come in there and say, hey, he doesn't want this. Do you want there was a really cool Superman statue, but it looked like it was homemade, like paper mache, but it was really nicely done. But he was like, yeah, I'll take it. And he got like $15 for it. And but then sometimes they would say, no, we don't have any interest in these comics. It's a comic book shop down the road, right out, right down walk 4 doors down. And I think that if you could do that though, you take it in their pawn shop. Hey, this comic is worth $500. Look on eBay. And they look, fool them out of that sweet cash. Yeah, that's my Grift King moment. Randy, roll that Gift King video.
What?
Roll the Grift King video.
He can't even say grift anymore.
No, I'm totally gone.
Can't even say grift.
Left the gift.
Totally gone.
Totally gone.
Because somebody gave him a gift.
Yeah. Trick.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Trick pawn shops. Take the money. Buy alcohol. Acquire wealth.
Randy, I'm gonna get off here because I haven't ate anything yet.
Okay.
But congrats on your campaign.
Thank you.
You did awesome. Looks awesome.
You're doing great too on Lure, Lure, over on Indiegogo as well. So that's going to be a big successful campaign. So
I'm trying.
Can't wait to see that. So, yeah.
You guys have a good night.
All right.
You
Thanks
too.
for being here. We'll see you.
Bye.
Take care.
Yeah. So I know a creator that recently said that their book was on eBay for a lot of money. And so I used to work at Guitar Center. And one of the things we used to do was when someone bring in for a trade, we would look at what they were going for on eBay. And what you do is you go to closed listings, like sold, right? And you search that item. You don't search something that's up there that has a buy it now price or a starting bid, because that's not accurate. You want to see what things have actually sold for. So I went on there and I found this guy's comic, and there's 2 of them listed. They're both listed by the same guy, and they've been listed for a long time. But if you hit that little filter, whether they're, that have been sold, ain't nothing been sold from this guy. Like nobody's buying his comic for that price on eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, some people will do that. You have to have a pretty good following to get that indie market to do that. So
Randy's got books on Amazon, and I bring him up every now and again to tease him. And look at the numbers, and it's like, what is it? What's it? Spank number 1 was like $8-9. Somebody wanted.
Say what?
Spank number 1 was it? Spank number 1 and number 2. Somebody wanted like. I know there was a guy somebody had it once up there for like.
Yeah, I could see Spank 1 going for about $10 right now, because I don't have any copies and there aren't very many out there. And Wizard rated it as on the edge and featured it in the magazine and that kind of thing. So,
well,
I could see that going for $10.
Well, you can get the Dead number 2 from 1993 for $40 plus $5 shipping and handling.
Oh,
now is that the Dead number 2? The from Arrow 3.0 or the violent cover from Arrow 2.0? because the Dead #2 cover from Arrow 2.0 that was done by Jason Moore and Jeff Lafferty
Banned in Canada.
That was banned in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
the
is-
one we got here.
That is
he
a
have-
hardcore. That is a hardcore adult violent cover.
Yeah. He has
I don't know if we can see that. That one right there.
That is actually the Tame cover.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. It's still but yeah, that's that you can get that for $40.
Yeah, that book, that particular version of that book, I don't think was banned in Canada. What got the banning in Canada was the cover on the gore version of that book, which has got a guy, a zombie.
We're
TVMA DLSV, but it is graphic and it is very adult.
We got Dead World for $11. I can actually probably get into that one.
Some of the Dead World Tame covers are rare, super rare, because the print runs were real low on them. What happened with Dead World is actually, and we've covered this on the show before, Dead World was actually the first variant book in comics, especially indie comics. And the reason for that is Dead World 2 was so graphic. It's got a zombie there with his entrails coming out of his gut.
Yeah, that cover looks awesome.
That the retailers had a fit and why are you giving us such gory covers? So we, with number 3 or 4, we offered a choice between a gory or a tame cover. And,
look at
that Vince would do the work on. Yeah, that's one of the gory covers.
That's nasty. Ooh, nasty.
Well, Vince Locke went on to do a little work for Marvel, or not Marvel, a little work for DC and other publishers, but he's really known for doing all of the covers for Cannibal Corpse for like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
All of the album covers.
See, that's what happens to you when you eat Taco Bell after midnight.
Yes.
Or you do like me, mix all this beer with McDonald's.
Oh, that's not good either.
Yeah. That's not gonna be good.
It's like drinking root beer and eating sliders from White Castle.
Oh,
that does something ungodly to your entrails.
There's a drink. I'm not sure if it's nationwide.
Okay, I'm switching over to my laptop now.
Okay. There you go.
Seamless.
Sorry, so the campaign ends tonight.
Ooh, you can get Night Street 1 through 5.
Oh. How much?
I'm not telling you because I'm buying it.
Okay, all right. There's a drink. I'm not sure if it's nationwide. It's called Tahitian Treat.
That's a root. That's not root beer. A fruit punch.
Right. It's a fruit punch. And let me tell you something about Tahitian Treat. That motherfucker's a colonic. Okay.
Freight train through your soul. Is that what you're saying?
You can't mix Tahitian Treat with anything, because the second you do, it gets down there and messes up your stomach, and you're gonna be, you're gonna be on the toilet begging for relief. The first time I did it, I was a fool. I had 2 of those little Red Baron pizzas and Tahitian Treat. I ate the pizza, slammed the Tahitian Treat, said, went to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. I woke up. I said, I thought I'd been shot in my stomach in the middle of the night. I said, this pain, what is it? What is it? Why does my stomach hurt? And you're sick when you're sitting there trying to figure out what you ate.
Yeah.
I've had a few nights like that.
Yeah. Hey, what was it? What did this?
What did I do to myself?
Yeah, exactly. It can't be the bologna sandwich.
I have narrowed it down to the grits at a local diner. Like, I'm not going to name it in case anyone knows it, but it's like a 50s style diner.
Mm-hmm.
And I narrowed it down to the grits that I ordered while I was there when I got my chicken and waffles.
Did you go to Dot's Diner?
What?
Did you go to Dot's Diner? It ain't your mama's.
I did not.
But it's always fresh.
Ain't your mama's.
It ain't your mama's, but it's always fresh.
The freshness is debatable.
Well, no, it's Anthony Figueroa's picks on that restaurant, right? And the messed up thing is that my mother's name is Dot, so it's
Sugar in the house. Sugar, hi Chris.
One man's fresh is another man's I'm going to be sick for a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you something else, guys. Those little geeky things we love. I grew up a big Ninja Turtles fan, and so when the opportunity to own turtles has come up, pet turtles, I usually take it. Oh, a turtle, I'll take it. And I took a turtle. I took a turtle. Then when we decided to move, I realized that the timing of my move was not right. We had to move out of the apartment before the home was ready. The house we were buying before we moved here. And it wasn't ready enough time, so we had to spend some time in a hotel. Well, I couldn't take that turtle to the hotel, so I took it to my aunt's house, and she fell in love with the turtle and begged me to keep it. So I'm like, yeah, you can keep it. But I always missed the turtle. I missed it. So I said, I'm gonna get a new turtle one day. Well, I walked into the pet store, and the police had found a turtle, and they brought it to the pet store, and they were adopting it out to a family who wanted it. They had found this turtle. It was $45. I bought the turtle. I brought it home, put it in the tank, signed the papers. I'm adopting this turtle. I'll take care of it. And it was fine for a while. And then the Indie Princess decided she was going to start, maintaining the tank a lot better than I would. Because it's a pond turtle. This is an outside turtle, mind you, who's now living indoors. And she started cleaning the tank regularly. Well, I don't know what happened, but about 3 weeks ago, I don't know if something changed with his bacteria. Maybe he was just feeling unfresh. But he was overpowering the filter to the fact that the filter looked like someone had took a dump in it. Like, it was like, what is this in the filter? And the water had turned brown. And I'm like, this is horrible. We got to get him out of there. He's like, well, we'll get him out of there tomorrow. We'll get him out. And then the smell. And the filter stopped working. The filter wasn't working at all. The smell of that tank lingered. And the only thing that Lola told me one day before bed, and I know it's almost midnight, so it's 11. I put the children to bed. Lola came in the bedroom. She sniffed. You hear back and behind me laughing. She's giggling. She came and she said, and she told me that it smelled like what?
Rotten pussy and dog shit.
Rotten. I don't know if you guys heard that, but rotten.
Wow.
Yeah. Rotten and dog shit. And
all right, so let me say something, okay?
Yeah.
We've had a turtle for the last 16 years.
Mhm.
And there's a few things you need to learn about a turtle. You took a turtle from the wild and tried to domesticate it.
Yeah.
What was happening is everything it was used to, because you were feeding it turtle food.
Yeah.
Everything it was used to was kind of detoxing in its body. So it's going to shed, it's going to grow. It's like its system is being flushed by the new kind of food. And so you just have to change the filter every few days until that changes. And then when its biology starts to, regulate, its metabolism starts to regulate, it'll clear up.
Yeah,
but it's a god awful smell. It's terrible.
Yeah. It smelled like it was a dead body. Like we used to play games on Friends. Like we would take like a jar, like a mason jar. You stick like a half a chicken in it, or a piece like a chicken wing, a drumstick, and you fill it up with milk halfway. Then you put the top on just ever so tightly, and then you slide it under like a sofa or something where they can't see it. And about day 3, they don't want to stay in the house because it smells like a dead body. And they'll be looking at the milk and chicken together, sitting there rotten. Oh, you'll want to get the hot dogs. But this turtle smell, it got bad. So I was like, look, we cleaned the tank out. We got a whole new tank. I'm like, that smell, I can't deal with it. It's forever there. I know it. I don't trust it. Smells like ass. And the worst type of ass. Smells like ass, boys. And wait.
Just ass boys, not sub ass boys.
No, not sub ass boys. It smells like ass boys. Which apparently smell. Luke.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. If a group of consortium of creators came to you and said, Luke,
Sure.
Luke, we are putting together a group and we're asking you, sir, to drop in $1,500.
What?
And we want, because we're gonna put this money together and we're gonna go to Funko Pop and we're gonna get some Funko Pops made officially from the company of our characters. And if we can, I told them if I could bring a bunch of people, they said they would do it. I got the deal set up. You know, would you do that if they told you at the deal you're gonna get for your $1,500, you're gonna get 150 pops?
That's $10 a piece for my pops.
Mm-hmm.
So I could sell them for $15-20 and make some money. All right. So here's the thing. If I know the people and I trust them, then yes.
Okay.
But if these people do like, you know, it's like, hey, I could take that $1,000 and turn it into $500 for you. If it's those kind of people, I'm a hard pass. I mean, there's certain people I'm just gonna hard pass for them.
Take that 1,000, turn it to 500. Yeah. How about you, Joe?
Nope.
You don't like Funko Pop? What's wrong, man?
No. It's not about not liking Funko Pops. It's just that $1,500 to me would have been getting out more comic book issues. So unless I know for a fact I have a immediate demand for those Funko Pops, I wouldn't do it.
And Randy, what do you think?
No.
You don't like Funko Pop?
No, well, it's not that I don't like Funko Pops. I don't have a lot of them, but I wouldn't do it. I would, you know, if they wanted to start a comic company or something, that maybe, but I'm not here to make Funko Pops.
Yeah.
You know,
You taking the time to sell them.
I want to do comics.
I mean, you taking the at that price point though. Lou's got a point.
Whose characters are they?
Mine.
They'll do your character.
My character?
Yeah.
That might be fun. I don't know.
$150. Yeah, and these official from Pop. These aren't the customs. These aren't you paid somebody to make them for you. These are actually from Funko headquarters. So this is your character. This is your mold.
I still don't know if I would do it. Just the convention scene would have to be different for one thing, but I would much rather invest in a larger print run, even if it meant I kept the comics for 20 years.
Randy, you got any more Tales from the Universe #1s left?
I do.
You do?
Which one? Is it from Massive Comics or from Arrow Comics?
Arrow Comics.
I do. I have them both actually, but I've got a pretty good set of both. The rare book from the Arrow Comics Tales from the Universe is #2. That's got a self-contained Varsel's Vixen story in it.
Oh, it's rare?
Yes.
Oh, so people that are selling it don't know what they got.
What are they selling it for?
He's not gonna tell you till he buys it.
Tales from the Universe, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4.
The first Arrow run for Tales ran 6 issues. Then we went over to Weeby Comics and printed 2 issues of the Aniverse. And then I started Massive Comics and did 3 issues of Tales from the Aniverse Volume 2.
Well, this is 2 through 6 is what this is.
Yeah, that's the original Arrow run.
Yeah. They don't have #1 in here.
I got plenty of ones. It's the #2 that's really rare. Because
They
had a
picture it, but they didn't picture it. But here, let me see. It's that red one up there in the top.
Yeah,
corner.
that's the one. Yeah, that's the rare one.
Yeah, well, that's on its way. So I got that on its way, and I got #1 on its way. So I'll have that full run.
Number 1 had a print run of 10,000. #2 had a print run of 5,000. #3 had a print run of 15,000.
Nice.
And I believe 4 and 5 had print runs of 10,000. But that was a whole different. The market was completely different back then because we were watching like Realm and Dead World pull down 25, 30, 40,000.
Yeah. Dude, there was Realm.
I mean,
like,
numbers that
one,
Marvel would marvel at right now for
there's
their
like a 9 point something, like 9.6 or something Realm that is like $140 on eBay.
Number one.
Yeah. Yeah, tremendous. Like
$140, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I haven't kept up with the exact pricing on Realm, but I would consider Realm to be probably a $15 or $20 book. I might be wrong though.
Well, this one's graded.
Yeah.
So it's a graded copy.
The graded and slabbed is completely different. That takes it into another level.
Yeah.
The thing with Realm number 1 is that's the first artwork, the first regularly printed comic that Guy Davis did.
Yeah.
And Guy Davis went on to do Sandman Mystery Theater, did the Marquee, and did a number of works for Hellboy during for Magnolia. But the big thing that Guy Davis is known for now is movie production work. If you ever saw Pacific Rim, all of the kaiju that is in Pacific Rim were pretty much drawn by Guy and envisioned, or that's Guy's vision.
Nice.
That his Hellboy work attracted Guillermo del Toro, and he started. Guy started running around with Guillermo doing art production work. In fact, there's a lot of the behind the scenes films on Guillermo's stuff. You'll see a guy back there in the background working as in art production.
Oh, neat.
But I know he designed all of the kaiju for both of the Pacific Rim movies, and he's been working with Guillermo on. Guillermo's been wanting to film In the Mountains of Madness by Lovecraft for a long time. It's a pet project of his, and I know Guy has been doing a lot of pre-production work for that.
That's cool.
Wow. Okay. So wow. Story here from Indie Vault. And
you're walking down early Arrow memory lane here. The first 5 Night Streets are incredible. Guy Mark Bloodworth is this is going to sound like an insult to start with, but Mark Bloodworth is a much better writer than he is an artist, but his artwork is amazing. So I always told Mark that he should take that property and try to sell it as a TV series, because it's a urban crime drama, and Night Streets, it's an urban crime drama that has a heavyweight, or not a heavyweight, but a bodybuilding female as a superhero vigilante. And the head of the mob in the city is a 7-foot-tall talking cat.
Mm.
It's a very unique book, very unique property.
I was gonna read something, but I guess I'm not going to now.
Why not? Does it have? It's adult subject matter, or
no? I'll read it. Okay.
Is it a deep thought type question you should save for Tuesday?
No, it's an Indie Vault story from a listener by the name of Sean. Sean says, "Greetings, Indie Vaulters. Bad news. I'm going to court.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to court because I caught my girlfriend cheating on me. I, of course, expressed displeasure at her cheating on me publicly at the venue where she was caught. Even in a mask, I knew it was her. I walked up to her and the fucker. I can cuss on the show. It's after night anyway.
Yeah. We're TVMA DLSV, and it's after 11. So yeah.
I walked up to her and the fucker and got really mad. It got heated. Mm-hmm. Me and the guy got into it. I pushed him. He got mad and walked off. Said he was going to get his gun. So I made myself scarce. I went to a buddy's house and had a few drinks. That's when my neighbor called me to tell me that my girlfriend had returned to our apartment we share. Quickly, I made my way home. Mm-hmm. To my horror, when I walked in the door, she had gotten into all of my comics and began tearing them into shreds.
Oh, Lord. Oh.
I popped her 3 times in her cocksucker into which she called the police.
Yeah, well, that's where it broke. That's where it broke the line. He should have his mistake, and I'm sure he knows this, was that he went over to the friend's house to have a drink. He should have gone home and protected his own.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
You can't hit somebody because they mess your comic books up. You can't.
That's
you might
assault.
want to.
You can't hit anybody, period, because that's assault.
3 times too, by the way. She calls the police. Now he says he is. Okay, so let me go back.
Especially when you're a guy in this situation, because the cops always look at that as the guy as the aggressor to start with, and they will always go and arrest cuff the guy first, even if the girl instigated or started or did the majority of the beating.
He says, I have a court date set for May 31st. May 31st. And my lawyer tells me that maybe I can show the value of the books that she destroyed and why I was in the state of mind that I was in. Anyway, I'll update you guys and let you know what's going on. And that, he ended there.
Yeah, Sean, we really feel for your situation, but quite frankly, assault is assault. And
assault, brother.
Showing the value of the comics might get you a little sympathy from the judge, absolutely, but I would still expect you're going to end up doing or doing some sort of compensation for that.
Sean, you may have to spend a week or two. You shouldn't have hit her. You don't hit anybody over your comics. You should have immediately called police and told them that she destroyed the property.
It's just material things. Then you should have sued her ass.
Yeah, then she'd be going to jail for destruction of property.
Yes.
You never hit a girl.
Yeah.
You should never hit anybody in general unless you're defending yourself.
Unless she's Ronda Rousey. You might have to hit her and keep her off of you.
There's a few people I want to hit, but I don't.
I don't think I would hit her.
No, there's a few people, I'd think long and hard before I walked away, but
beating. Listen, you know how many beatings saved my life my parents gave me? I think a beating every now and again is good for soul.
Different time and parenting is different from assault.
Yeah, I never hit a girl.
An ass whooping lets you know
that male friends that got thrown in jail for throwing that's little things like a sock at a woman.
Yeah,
I have a friend who's in a relationship much like mine, but they weren't married, and by that, his girlfriend was he's much older than me, and it was back in.
And I sincerely hope Sean didn't lose a lot of really valuable books.
Yeah. Anyway, he slapped his girlfriend in Dearborn in 1992.
Yeah.
And that shit don't fly.
I was gonna say, when did he get out?
Oh, he got out. It wasn't the 2000s when he got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a couple years for that.
10 years. Yeah.
His girlfriend was like my wife, and he's like me, and he was in Dearborn, and that shit ain't gonna fly out there. Not at all. So
doesn't really fly anywhere. You can't strike a woman.
Yeah. Keep your hands off each other. Keep your hands off that man's comic books.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. You can still sue. Your destruction of your property, destruction of your property.
Yes.
You can still sue. I would gather up the value of those books. It may suck, it may hurt, but you're gonna have to do that and present that as, hey, I could sue for these properties that were damaged because this person went in there and tore them to shreds.
You know what really suck is if the value of those comics don't add up to much.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's got his Ollie books over there that she got a hold of first.
That and I hope he didn't just throw them away. I hope he took photographs of the destroyed books.
Yeah. I gotta
it would have been interesting if he had actual evidence of the cheating. Because
that's really
evidence of the cheating, he could then get her for more than just the value of the books.
No, that's really secondary.
I know.
The judge would gloss over that pretty quickly. It's the destruction of property that's the problem. It's the assault that's the real problem.
Assault is always worse than destruction of property.
Yes.
Like assault is always like the worst.
Yeah. Let's see here. Where's that thing?
Once you cross that line and go violent, man, it
everything changes.
Yep. Yeah,
it does.
Oh, I'm about to go dig it out. I have a comic that I can't find it now, and I'll remember the name at some point and wake up in the middle of the night screaming it. It's a 3D comic and has a spaceman on it. I think he's wearing like a green suit. He's got a laser pistol in his hand. And I bought it years ago. I asked my dad, can I have? He's like, yeah, sure, buy it, whatever. And I came home, I read it, and put it up, and never really touched it again. Occasionally, I'd open it up and read through it because I think it had I think it had short stories in there. But anyway, I remember looking up the book a couple years ago and discovering that it was like $100 or so bucks. It had risen in value. Yeah, and I always put it back up and forget about it. So I'm wondering. I forgot the name of the book now. It sucks. I'll never remember. It's a 3D book though, which is really cool because when's the last time we've seen a 3D comic, guys?
You mean 3D comic like with the glasses and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, I haven't read one of those since G.I. Joe 3D.
That was a rare fad back in the, I think, early mid 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. There was times when you'd see 3 or 4 3D books a week. And these guys, especially publishers on the level of Blackthorn, would kick out 3D books on anything that they could find. And there were a lot of reprints done during that period of 3D books that were done back in the 50s.
Yeah. I know DC did some with but they were I don't think you need glasses. They were just like this cover where you move the cover and you could see.
But they did an entire month of those. I don't remember the term for it, but the cover that when you turn it a certain angle, you get a different picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? There's a word for that.
Sublimated covers or something.
Venticular.
Yeah, venticular.
Venticular. There you go. See, that's what we got Joe around. He knows things.
But they used to have Ray Zone was the guy's working name. I'm not sure what his secular name was, but Ray Zone, if you wanted a 3D book done, you got a hold of him and got on his list. And and he would do the 3D work for you and have it work so that you could wear the glasses and see, the 3D technique. Some of that's pretty cool.
Yeah. The lenticular covers, Eric is thinking about having some done for his book. And the technology is very old.
Yeah.
For the lenticular books, but it is time consuming, and because it's old, it's a little bit more expensive. Yes. It's old tech. Nobody really wants to do it anymore. So I'm trying to find that book. I'll look through my collection tomorrow and tell you guys what it is. But yeah, it's an old book, and it's got these. I still got the 3D glasses in there, and they don't do stuff like that anymore. They should, but they don't. Randy, you're approaching midnight.
It's all the part of we are. It's all part of the fun that comics used to be until this crazy amount of angst and realism came in and took over, and then the collector's market demanded, variant covers. So in order to keep these companies afloat.
I'm a proud owner of a full set now.
Go.
Oh, did you get the?
A full. I finally got a full set of Captain America: The Truth, red, white, and black.
Okay. That's you now. You can sell them to me.
Are you serious?
How much did I end up costing you, by the way? Just ballpark.
No, I actually paid $225 because I actually had a comic book store that's used to have these sets of these. They sold out of them. He's like, I probably can't get another one. And he went to like a swap meet, found a brand new set of them, decent copies of the books, no spine ticks or anything like that. Brought them in that following weekend, $225. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I got it.
That's cool. You think that they'd at least charge $3 because he was in the Falcon and Winter Soldier?
No, $225 for the full set. I'll sell $7.
He knows he's giving you a hard time.
Sorry, just being an asshole. Yeah, we should probably close it up.
Alrighty.
We're rolling up the sidewalks, folks. This is we're under 3 hours. We're getting close to 3 hours left on this campaign. We're just going to let it roll out. And we deeply appreciate everybody being here and everybody that contributed and backed this book. It is a one of a kind. It's going to be a lot of fun to read. I can't wait to get it together and get it to the printer and get it in your hands because it's going to be a fun book to look through and read. So again, we want to thank everybody and thank everybody on our first part for coming by, and hope Russ feels better. Doesn't have too hard of a hangover in the morning. And I guess Jake was like 6 beers in before he started. And,
Yeah.
Right. And we didn't have to deal with stench.
Yeah, true. And wish everybody well. Joe, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook, or if you do follow my YouTube channel, you can find me tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a double session From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. In the first 2 hours, we're going to have April Reyna and Lisa Malone. And in the second hour, we're going to have Cindy Kep. So it's going to be 4 hours worth of streaming all together. So
That's a long time.
Yeah,
it's a very long time. It may not run a full 4, but it's going to be close.
I'll be happy to at least take a day off away from streaming.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's why I only do it once a week. I try to do it only once a week.
Damn time.
gotta be careful.
I keep forgetting about Pitches Be Crazy too tomorrow.
I've been on 14 streams since the 4th.
Wow. How is your campaign coming, by the way?
You know, it's not doing too bad. I think we're at like 63 backers.
Cool.
Yeah. 83, 84% funded.
Good.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Tell folks how they can find you, Luke.
Oh, you can go to lukestonestudios.com. That's Luke Stone Studios with an S on the end.com. You can find my Twitter, my Facebook, and my YouTube channels all over there, and a nice link to a mailing list. Please sign up for that so you can keep updated with things that we're doing and new projects that I'm doing. And also follow that link. Go over to the Indiegogo page. Back Hybrids of Killing Field Part 1 and 2. That will be closing out in 19 days, and it will not be going to in demand. So please swing on by over there and take advantage of that while supplies last. Thank you.
And we should also note that Hybrids is going to be available starting in August from Arrow Comics. We're going to start over with number 1 and work that as a monthly title. For
Yep, very excited about
retailers
that.
Yeah, us too. Very excited. Varian, how can folks find you?
KYD_V over on Twitter, Facebook, Varian Grant, all that good stuff. Last Call Comics, WhenWeRiot.com, LastCallComics.com, and of course, IndieVolt.com. Check IndieVolt out on IndieVolt Radio on Google Play. Use the streamer or tune in app on iPhone. Also, ask Alexa to play IndieVolt Radio for you. She'll do something.
Alexa, play IndieVolt Radio. No, she says Randy Travis.
You may have to.
How they got Randy Travis out of IndieVolt Radio?
Yeah. You may have to teach her the skill first.
Yeah, she knows the skill.
It works as good as Google Voice.
And then IndieVolt TV on Roku-enabled devices. Check that out. Free streaming. Also streaming network. It's awesome.
Are you going to have a New Jack Memorial on the Roku channel?
Absolutely not. But yeah, it's been great being here and close out this campaign. Again, I'm Randy. This is all Randy's book. This is all, but was able to get so many people in here involved. It was really cool to watch come together, and I just sat back in awe. I mean, that's why I don't have anything in there. I was kind of sitting back just watching the whole thing come together, and I'd ask little questions like, well, what about this? What about that? And to me, shut up, Keen, what you're talking about. So
you're like going, well, don't worry if you don't hit your goal because everybody fails on their first campaign.
Yeah, that's what I was telling. Yeah, don't worry about quitting your goal. But you and Lola want to be successful, so okay.
Yeah, I am impressed because considering how busy you are reviving a publishing company, you not only hit the goal, but you blasted through it with relatively little promotion.
Well, I got it. That's part of the problem. Almost no promotion, was just on a couple of other podcasts, and had everybody that had contributed on the book was spreading the links around, and we're really grateful for that. But learned a lot from this campaign. The next, if I had made this a 30-day campaign, it'd be in people's hands by now. So I'll know better next time, and it should have just been a quick hit and done so that I could get onto this. I really, you're right, I really didn't give it the time that it deserved, but the quality of the product is going to be phenomenal. So it's just going to be an amazing book. And then we're going to end up taking that, and Arrow will also be offering a Revolt floppy for the direct market as well here, 32 pages every other month. That'll be a variety of stories, both black and white and color. This book is all black and white, but a lot of the stories that are in this Revolt book can only be seen in black and appreciated properly in black and white, with the grayscale work on a lot of it, and the intricate line work on some of the other works is just deserves to be in black and white. So Arrow is always printed in black and white. I think Hybrids 1 is going to be the first book that Arrow actually printed in color. So never.
So Luke, you're going to make history.
So that's pretty.
And then the books we do in August will all be in color. Revolt will have color throughout. It'll be like, I really see Revolt for the direct market as our version of heavy metal, where we're going to have a lot of great little, however heavy metal originally started, a lot of great stories, some of them with continuing IPs that expose people to the wide variety of possibilities that the alternative and indie creators can do. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's up to me. Next time you'll see Indie Volt will be Pitches Be Crazy, which is 2:30 tomorrow. Indie Princess Daphne will be back at 9:00 that evening for backer shots, where they'll be talking about lore and Daphne's Eagle Raven campaign. You'll see me back Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for Sunday Funnies. Daphne, maybe Varian will be there. And a few other people, if we can corral them in. Maybe Russ will be past his hangover by then. We'll find out. Where we talk about the more lighter and whimsical side of comics. Varian and I will be back Tuesday night for Live Wire, where we talk about the industry and the mechanics of doing independent and alternative books. Then Monday also at 9 p.m., Eric Hodson does It Came From Webtoons. Wednesday is Geekgasm, 9 p.m. Indie Princess and Daphne again, talking about the feminine side of geekdom. Then Thursday morning, Varian and I will be back again for the Breakfast Buzz, and where again we'll talk about the industry and the inner workings thereof. And we again, thanks a lot to everybody for hanging around with us this Friday night as we talk about the Indie Volt Revolt book. I think this is the most exposure that the book has actually gotten, and deeply appreciate it. Again, everybody that's contributed to the book, all of the backers. Love you all. Love our radio audience. We appreciate you very much. Do we have any closing numbers?
We got up to 76, 220.
There we go. Great for a Friday. So
yeah.
And for a not regularly scheduled program.
Yeah.
All right. We're taking off, folks. We hope you have the great rest of your night, a great weekend, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Any last words?
I hope that we wake up to find out that the campaign reached $5,000.
Yeah,
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
And folks, 3 hours from now?
Yeah,
3 hours from now.
Only 3 hours left, really.
And
3 hours from now. Let's hit that one more time and refresh it and see if it's grown any. And boom, no.
And of course,
and no, that sucks.
And no. But it's okay. I really didn't do this expecting a large amount. And like you said, with getting Arrow Comics back off the ground, they haven't really given it the time and energy to promote it, but really happy that it's generated the money that it has.
Yeah. The only thing, my closing statement is what it always is: try to leave this industry better than you found it. That's it.
Please.
Yeah.
Yep. Read indie comics. Show them off to folks. It make it so it's not weird. And promote everybody's stuff. Talk about the good stuff. You don't have to talk about the bad stuff, but do talk about the good stuff. So take care, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.
Have a good one.
All right.
about what you've accomplished.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
How can he close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.